Hey, it's Will. I'm back here doing more Aquarium, and we are jumping into where we left off last time on tank 1-5. So this is the first time we're choosing the 3 pets we're going to take into the tank. I think I'm going to try and make a goal to demo the new pets I get. So we're going to demo Prego in this episode, is her name. This fish, or this character, will produce a fish, one of these little guppies, every so often, and so that just helps us. We've been paying 100 coins for fish, but now we can get some for free over the course of the level here. So just starting out, things are going slow. Just feeding our fish, waiting for them to grow. There we go. And, oh, you saw Prego there produce a fish for us for free, which is nice. So this can become a problem. I can see this becoming a problem if it makes it so we have too many fish in our tank, like an overpopulation problem. Seeing as I'm not going to be upgrading my food too much, I think I'm going to leave it on the base level, this brown food. If you saw the previous episode, you can see how we upgrade our food. Once we have a big fish, we'll have some options to upgrade the food, but I'm going to leave it at this base level, probably, just because I want to feed those carnivores. And by keeping guppies as long as possible in the tank, we can keep the carnivores happy. Oh, we got 2 aliens here. So this is a challenge for sure, getting rid of 2 aliens. They appeared on the opposite side of the tank there, so I'm not sure if we suffered any casualties there with Prego producing these fish, but we can see we have a little bit of an overpopulation issue with fish staying hungry for a long time. Really wanting the fish to get big, or one of them to get big, so I can unlock that next food level. You know what, maybe I'll upgrade to the green food. I don't know. It keeps the guppies happiest the longest. Or it keeps the carnivores happy if I stay on this brown food and let some fish die here. But I don't know if I'll end up doing that or not. Definitely upgrade the quantity. There we go. So now we have some eggs. And it looks like it unlocked the egg without having to buy a carnivore, which is neat. We do have a couple fish dying here, just because we can't produce enough food. If we can dump a bunch of food into the tank, that seems to be a little more effective. Let me get a little more food here, and we'll get a carnivore, first carnivore in the tank. And if you saw the last episode, you saw that the carnivores eat guppies. That's their main food source, is those guppies. We have an enemy approaching. Let's make sure the carnivore doesn't swim into them. The fish have a tendency to swim into the enemies, which is not good. I'm going to try and make my population mostly carnivores, so I'm not going to buy guppies right now. Instead, I'm going to save up for a carnivore here. There's some more coins for us. And hopefully I get our little tank economy to rely on these carnivores here, producing 200 per drop with these gems here. There goes a carnivore eating a fish. It looks like there he goes, eating the small guppy there. And we can afford another carnivore. Let's get a few guppies in here. Feed them with brown food. I think this is going to be the best strategy. As long as I can keep the aliens from killing my fish, my carnivores, my big money producers, I think I'll be fine. And Prego is also producing guppies right there. She is in the pregnant phase, and there you go, with the fish there, giving birth to a fish. Let me actually take a second here, increase my brightness, turn that all the way up. There we go. Great, we can afford another carnivore here. Probably afford 2 more carnivores, get a couple of guppies in the tank as well. And we have an enemy approaching. I might want to upgrade my weapon, seeing as they're dropping 2 in here, and this is going to take some more carnivores. You know, they're taking the carnivores here, this is kind of a problem. But, yeah, that is a little bit of a problem. We're down to 4 of them. Our economy here is weak at the moment. We're needing a lot of these to invest in these fish that can produce high value items, these gems here. Guppies. Here, feeding the carnivores. So I may need to upgrade my weapon. With 2 aliens dropping in here, it becomes a challenge. It may be easier for me if I'm currently on the iPhone, so if I have 2 fingers going, if I'm hitting on both sides of the screen at the same time, that might help with keeping the aliens away from my carnivores, my real valuable money fish. And so 5,000 is the requirement for the shell here, just taking a look at that now. So we're going to need 15,000 to pass this level. Keep investing in carnivores. A few more of these. Guppies in there. And our little economy here is starting to boom a little bit more. We need to invest in more guppies, invest in another carnivore, and we're starting to move along. There we go, we can afford another carnivore. And we do have some enemies coming into the tank. Let me invest in an upgrade to my weapon. And it's just 1, but he did seize 2, I think 2 of my carnivores went there. But we can afford a few more. And so like I said in the last episode, upgrading your weapon will give us more power when zapping those enemies. And you can see that I'm on an orange weapon. It's got 2 next to it, letting me know, I presume that I'm on level 2 of my weapon. Let me test some more of these guys. And we do have 1 large guppy sticking around. Quick. More carnivores. And as we invest in more of these carnivores, we can see the payoff is becoming larger and larger. Yep, that's about time for an enemy. 1, 2, 3. I think they're going in rounds, where 2 of them will come to the tank and then 1 will come into the tank. But you see, I upgraded real quick to level 5 there, which really helped me get these carnivores, keep them alive for that alien attack. Let's get these guys fed. Keep them fed. And Stinky's helping me out with collecting these. As I'm dropping food and whatnot, I'm missing some drops of these gems here. Almost to the point where we could afford the first eggshell. I'm just going to invest in a few more carnivores at the moment. I'm feeding the carnivores. We went really quick back up to the amount where we can afford 2 shells, so let's invest in some food for our carnivores, keep them happy, and I think we'll get to 15,000 real quick here, and we can buy all 3 shells at one time. Let me just go ahead and buy 1, and at least throw some guppies in the tank, buy a second one. Now, last 5,000 we need to complete our shell. We're going to get it right here in a second. There we go. Alright, awesome. So, let's see what this next fish is here. Zorf the seahorse. So he's going to produce some food for us. Oh, and we have a bonus round. This happens every 5 levels. You get one of these bonus rounds, and you just tap on the shells to collect them. And these bags of money, they'll actually add 20 to your previous score. So I did 20, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, and then collect these last ones here at the end. 731. It's typically the most profitable to go for those bags of money, especially in the early levels. Bonus pet, so we have the opportunity to buy a bonus pet for 20,000 shells. We have 931, so we're a little bit off. And now we can move on to level 2. And we've gone through level 1. You can see I have all 5 pets from level 1, and we're going to move to a new tank now. And I will stick with the team like that. Stinky the Snail. We have the Oyster Nico and Zorf. Nico is going to produce money. Stinky's going to help us collect it. And Zorf is going to produce some food, and we'll demo him here. So we have a new tank, a new background, a new placement of our Nico, the clam. And you can see in the bottom corner it says Tank 2-1 now, letting us know we're on level 2. Zorf recognizes when these fish get hungry, and he'll produce that food. That's the level 2 food. I guess he won't produce it too much. Hopefully that fish... Yeah, there he goes. He's got like this intermittent schedule. So he's not too reliable if you don't have a bunch of fish. But there goes the fish going for that better nutrient food, and there he goes. So I guess you got to get on Zorf's schedule if you want Zorf to feed you, feed your fish. So there he goes, producing the food. So he can be pretty useful upgrading your fish early by helping them grow faster, make more money, get more coins and whatnot. But he's not pumping out food. It's just like his schedule. And I'm sure it's on time. But let's go ahead and invest in another fish here. Now that I have Zorf, sometimes before we have a big fish, feeding is a problem. The overpopulation can be a problem. But with Zorf producing food, I think it's going to be fine. And we have an enemy approaching. And there we go. It's the same enemy from the last level. Eventually we'll get some more different enemies. There's one enemy that eats food. For example, rather than zapping him with the laser, you have to feed him just food that we are paying 5 coins for. That's like a hit to him. So now we have this opportunity to upgrade the food quantity we can drop. Let's do that. Let's also upgrade. There's no carnivores in this level. You can see we have this potion for 250. We're in the carnivore slot. So what we want to do with that potion is feed it to big fish. So we want to have as many big guppies as we can get. So I'm going to upgrade my food to max, and then we can feed our guppies. I want to create a healthy population of a bunch of guppies. So let's get some more in the tank and get them growing. And I love how this big food, the most expensive food, is not necessarily big, it's just the pill, the red and white food. It grows the guppies immediately to coin producing size, so we can immediately start investing in more of them. What we want to do is get as many big guppies as we can, because if we feed this potion to a smaller fish, at the small phase or at the medium phase, it will die. It's like it's only relevant for the big fish, only edible by the big fish. And we did have a couple casualties there, so let's invest in some more fish here, some more growing. And this is going to be a little bit hard to work with these potions in Zorf, just because Zorf is feeding the fish, and we want the fish to be hungry, so that when I feed them the potion, they'll eat it. I want a big fish to eat that potion. I'll just drop it. I paid 250 for that, and it's going to hit the bottom. Let's try dropping a few more potions here, see if we can get him to eat it. Yep, see, a smaller fish ate it and died. But one of our big fish did eat it, and now he's dropping stars, and he's glowing. He's ascended. He's enlightened, quite literally, and is somewhat translucent. So he's dropping stars, and we unlocked the shell, and it's pretty cheap. Level 1, it just gives you an introduction to the mechanics of the tank. So we're going to be able to afford to finish this level here real quick. But in the next level, things will become a little more complicated. Let's finish up here. There we go. So just $7.50, pretty cheap egg price. So our new pet here, we just unlocked Clyde the jellyfish. He's going to go through the tank collecting coins he passes by. Just like Stinky, Clyde is very similar in how he works. He's just going to go throughout the tank. Rather than Stinky goes along the bottom of the tank, Clyde is going to float around in our tank and collect that money for us. So if you have Stinky and Clyde, you have optimum ability to collect the money. And I like to work with Stinky and Clyde a lot, so I'll probably wrap it up here for this video, but I'll see you in the next video where we'll demo Clyde and dive into Tank 2-2. Alright, this has been Will Middleton. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.